Francis, could you imagine sitting in an unchanged diaper? I mean, would you wear diapers?
Not today.
We're close. Based on our illness,
Not today.
I'm close to having to wear a diaper, being in a hospital bed.
All right, tangent time. Beep, 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 beep. That's my tangent time button.
Tangent time.
Is it true that people wear diapers when they go to New York when it comes to watching the ball drop so that they don't have to leave their place to go? I heard that's the truth. Like when people, is it true? Edwin tells me it's true. And people queue up at like 8:30 in the morning for the ball dropping at night, and they wear diapers so that they don't have to leave.
Could you imagine? First of all, I can tell you.
Well, here's the funny thing. Before you get to it, you don't actually remember, like being in diapers, right? So maybe this is just a nice way of reminding yourself. This is what I actually felt when I was like 1. When I was from born till I was like, in your case, 5.
Here's something I know that is, here's a proven fact. If you think going to New York City to stand outside for 16 hours and wait for the ball to drop is an exciting way to spend New Year's Eve or a fun, you're just an idiot. Now, that's a lot of people I'm calling an idiot because they're like, oh, you got the free show, you can't see anything, right? It is the most claustrophobic, packed instance. I've never done it. I've had friends that have done it. And every single person that has come back and they said to me, it was the single worst experience in my entire life. Yet people do it every day. They think it's a tourist attraction. They need to go do it and check it off a bucket list. Here's a better way to spend your New Year's. Don't.
Yeah, I was in New York. Remember I told you I was going and you gave me the pep talk and I was like, Jason, I was never going to do that. Like, I am an insane individual. And I actually my hotel was close to Times Square and I had to take a route so ridiculous just to get to where I was going for New Year. Do you know what I would have rather have done than watch that ball drop? I would have rather watched a guy get naked, jump up on top of a bus and stand behind him and have him watch his balls drop. That would have been far more exciting for me than watching that little silver ball drop like 3 centimeters and then everyone go,
I've always wanted
I've
always wanted the ball not to go and then like they have to like drop it all the way to make it at 1. Like it not start at 10, they get to 5, like it's not going. Just release it.
Cut the rope. That's exciting. I would pay to see that. But
that
anyway.
I would pay for. So back to the Jets. So why are we talking about the Jets' abysmal season?
The season in perspective from yours and your team's standpoint.
First of all, is this 60 minutes?
Yeah, it might be.
It might be. We go with this. Yes. Are you guys serious? Yeah. I feel like this conversation should be had on the couch.
Look at all these questions I got written down here. Look at this. I got questions. I got a million questions for you.
Well, I mean, to answer your question, the best way I can describe it is having a diaper on and never changing it. And just sitting in that diaper the whole year. That's how our year was.
Wow.
It was a bad year.
The Jets are going to be in line for a good draft pick. I think the 6th overall pick is what they have. And that's an important pick because one of the needs that's not going to be filled by the first 5 teams most likely is going to be one of the most explosive players in college football, and that is Leonard Fournette of the LSU Tigers. And what would be great is if Leonard Fournette went to the Jets and then Brandon Marshall, as a gag gift, said, I got you some Pampers.
And I already left the present in there, just so you
Here's
know.
what it's like to play with our team. I like Brandon Marshall for keeping it real. I like any player who keeps it as real as that when they say they had a bad season, because a lot of players will come off the field and say, it's an honor to play for the New York Jets football organization, and we had a bad year. We can have a better year next year. No, Brandon Marshall just cuts right to the point and says, we played like poop.
There's no sport in the world that compares to American football when it comes to players, coaches, everyone else just throwing themselves, their team, their teammates under the bus. They just don't give a fuck. It's like the whole Eli Manning, Odell Beckham at the start of the season. He's just not acting.
Did you hear what he said this time, though?
What did he say?
He said, I was disappointed that they weren't prepared. They didn't bring, like, flip-flops because they were wearing Timberlands on the fucking boat.
Oh, man. Like, they just don't care. It's quite literally like just the epitome of a business. Like, they just don't care that much. It doesn't seem like there's a sense of teammate camaraderie there. And Brandon Marshall is a little bit more lighthearted. I think he's just admitting the fact that they were shahite this season. And I think the fans of the New York Jets, more often than not, will appreciate the honesty. He's not bullshitting them. He's not saying, we'll get it up next year. He's like, no, this was god-awful this year. We need to do something. We need to clean our diaper for next year.
The last time the Jets won the Super Bowl, my dad was getting bar mitzvahed. Comment below on diapers balls dropping, the
Yeah,
ball
what an
drop.
interesting clip.
New York City, Brandon Marshall, Leonard Fournette, the New York Jets, the body of Christ, the blood of Christ, the quinceañeros, and bar and bat mitzvahs.